or else he'll need to generate another surprise elsewhere on the map. Meanwhile, there are several combinations of three-state victories that give Harris the win. But that's just a mathematical look at the swing state paths to victory. Here are the most plausible paths for Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
The most straightforward way for her to get elected is still to carry Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, and the one congressional district in Nebraska that sometimes votes for Democrats. That would put her at exactly 270.
I think her strategy is going to be to try to gain the Sunbelt states and states like Arizona and Georgia.
For Donald Trump, their path is to hold North Carolina, try to flip Georgia or Arizona or Nevada, and then run the table in the Rust Belt.
And then to rely on those white, rural, working class voters in Michigan, in Wisconsin, and in Pennsylvania.
And worth pointing out, if either candidate wins any 5 of the 7 swing states, and they hold on to every other state they're expected to, that's enough. That gets either one across the 270 electoral college vote finish line. So easy, right? You just have to win somewhere between 3 and 5 of the swing states, hold the other 20 or so states that everyone just expects you to hold on to, and you're golden. Well, each swing state is different. Different issues, different geography, different voters. Pennsylvania is a great example of that. It's where Harris began a 5-day battleground tour, announcing Tim Walz as her vice president.
Good evening, Philadelphia!
Just about every major news organization has put Pennsylvania in must-win territory. It's the most valuable of the battleground states, worth 19 electoral college votes.
There is just going to be an enormous amount of campaign activity taking place in Pennsylvania. Whoever carries Pennsylvania is very likely to be the next president.
And it's a big part of why Trump won in 2016. He cracked Pennsylvania, along with Wisconsin and Michigan, part of this impenetrable blue wall of states that have been reliably Democrat for decades. Biden took all 3 states back in 2020, but keep in mind, he's also from there. Biden drew often on his Pennsylvania upbringing while he was campaigning.
Scranton's not my home because of the memories it gave me, it's because of the values it instilled in me.
But Harris doesn't have that same edge, and polling suggests she's weak with working class men. Striking the right balance, winning over voters in big cities and rural areas alike, will be key in the Keystone state.
It's an unusual state because it's so large that it has very distinct regions with very distinct political cultures.
It's a state that shows a little bit of everything in the United States and reflects a lot of the sharp divisions that we have.
In Wisconsin, once upon a time, this was shaping up to be a battle for 3. And it still might be. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. had fought to get his name on the ballot in this state, and he succeeded. Problem is, he's since confusing for voters. Michigan and North Carolina, he has managed to pull out. But speaking of North Carolina is the one that gets away from Democrats every 4 years. But the margin of victory last time around was only about 1 percentage point.